My wife isn't breathing. I think she had a sweatshirt around her neck and she's not breathing. She's dead. She's dead. She's dead, babe. What is wrong, babe?
That was Richard Guichelaar, Amber Guichelaar's husband, who made the 911 call. He claimed to have been sleeping downstairs and discovered his wife's lifeless body when he went to check on their crying baby in the middle of the night. According to him, it seemed as though she accidentally strangled herself with her sweatshirt while sleeping. But is that the truth, or did this abusive husband play a role in Amber's death? Let's uncover the truth. Amber DeGraff was born on November 19, 1987, to her parents David and Amy DeGraff. Growing up alongside her sister Brittany and brother Justin, Amber had a wonderful childhood. She was a joyful, bright young girl who embraced life with enthusiasm. Raised in a Christian household, Amber's faith in Jesus Christ was not just a part of her upbringing, but a guiding light that grew brighter as she matured. As a freshman at Grand Rapids Community College, Amber embarked on a church mission trip to Guatemala. Despite her enthusiasm, Amber found herself grappling with a language barrier. She wanted to share her faith in Jesus Christ with the locals, but because her Spanish skills were at a basic level, she struggled to have any meaningful conversations and could barely communicate with them. This frustration, however, didn't dishearten her. Instead, it sparked a determination to master the language, a challenge she embraced with open arms. This was the beginning of Amber's journey to not just learn, but also teach Spanish. Following her time at Grand Rapids Community College, Amber pursued her education at Calvin Christian College. There, she delved into secondary education, choosing to major in Spanish with a minor in English. Her academic journey included a transformative period of studying abroad in Spain. After completing her studies at Calvin, Amber secured a full-time teaching position at South Christian High School, where she passionately taught Spanish for several years. In 2020, she transitioned to Kentwood Middle School, teaching English as a second language near her home. Her students, fond of their dedicated teacher, affectionately referred to her as Mrs. G. But Amber's roles extended beyond the classroom. She was not just a beloved teacher, but also a loving wife and a devoted mother to her two daughters. Amber's path crossed with Richard Guichelaar when she was a Spanish teacher at South Christian High School, where Richard's father, George, served as principal. Richard, who lived in Michigan his entire life, led a relatively normal life until he suffered a series of concussions in his early teens. The aftermath of these injuries led to the development of mental health issues, casting a shadow over his once happy and ordinary childhood. Despite his struggles, Richard found employment as a landscaper, earning recognition for his dedication and willingness to go above and beyond for his employers. However, his family members, who testified under oath, shed light on a darker side of Richard's behavior. They said that Richard exhibited aggressive behavior that instilled fear in them. He would issue threats like setting the house on fire, crushing his brother's hamster, threatening his sister with a knife, or abandoning her in a field to freeze. In response to his aggressive tendencies, Richard was placed on medication designed to help manage and calm his behavior. Despite Richard's challenging past, the prospect of a brighter future appeared when he found love with Amber. Their connection was immediate, leading to a blossoming relationship that soon evolved into marriage. In 2010, the couple decided to make a home together, purchasing a 3-bedroom house in Kentwood. But the years that followed were not without their challenges. In 2019, a heartbreaking incident occurred when their dog attacked a neighbor's child while walking down the street, resulting in severe facial injuries. Fortunately, the child survived and was expected to fully recover. However, this incident led to legal consequences, as the neighbors sued the Guichelaars, ultimately being granted a settlement of $501,000 in February 2020. The couple, already grappling with underlying issues, found the incident intensified the challenges they were facing. Around the same time, the COVID-19 pandemic had gripped the world, leading to widespread lockdowns that confined Amber and Richard, like many others, to spending all their time indoors together. Unfortunately, this circumstance only heightened the existing tension between the couple. Amber found herself increasingly frustrated with Richard's lack of initiative. His reluctance to contribute to household chores, his hours spent immersed in video games and fantasy football, and his newfound habit of watching pornography. All these factors fueled Amber's discontent. Richard's habits were a source of constant friction, leading to frequent arguments that left Amber emotionally drained. Despite the mounting issues, Amber presented a brave face to the outside world, concealing the true extent of her marital challenges. The one person she confided in was her sister Brittany, sharing the details of her struggles while keeping everything else hidden from everyone else in her life. On November 14, 2020, just 5 days before her birthday, Brittany asked Amber what she wanted as a gift, to which she replied half-jokingly that she wanted a new husband. While it may have started as a lighthearted remark, deep down, Amber harbored genuine unhappiness with Richard's behavior and how he treated her behind closed doors. 2 days later at 3:30 a.m., Richard placed a frantic call to 911.
King County 911, where's your emergency?
My wife she's not breathing. She's not breathing.
What's the address? And how old is your wife?
Purple. She's purple.
How old is your wife?
Dead.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Don't hang up. Sir. Are there any kids in the home, or is it just you and her?
No, my daughter's right next to us. She's right here.
No, I need you to take her out of the room. Sir, I know. Listen to me a minute. Do you think she did this on purpose, or was it an accident?
What?
Medical dispatch.
This is Kent County. I started a Med Zero in Kentwood.
Okay. Caller, tell me what happened.
My wife isn't breathing. I think she had a sweatshirt around her neck and she's not breathing. She's dead. Dead, babe. What is wrong, babe?
Med 1 Echo.
Med 1 Echo.
All right, we are sending the paramedics to help you now, okay? Need you to stay on the line. I want you to loosen anything that's around her neck and then tell me if she's breathing.
She's not breathing. She's purple. Her eyes are bulged. She's dead.
Okay, do you think she's beyond help?
I do. God.
When the paramedics arrived, it was tragically too late, and Amber was pronounced dead at the scene. In their bedroom, their 8-month-old daughter slept in a crib, likely present when Amber passed away. The couple shared 2 children, the 8-month-old and a 2.5-year-old toddler. Additionally, Amber was in the early stages of pregnancy with their 3rd child, who also did not survive. Richard recounted his version of the events to the Kentwood police. He claimed that he had chosen to sleep on the downstairs couch that night because of how hot it was in the bedroom. He claimed to have been awakened by their baby's cries and waited for Amber to tend to their daughter. As the crying persisted, Richard eventually went to check on their child, and that's when he claims he saw Amber's lifeless body on the bed. Richard asserted that he believed his wife had accidentally strangled herself with her sweatshirt, but was Richard telling the truth? 11 days after Amber's death, 2 of her close friends reached out to Detective Dyke Groff. They shared insights from a conversation they had with Richard, shedding more light on the events leading up to that fateful night. One friend recounted her conversation with Richard about the night Amber died. Richard had expressed his frustration about Amber taking too long to lock up the house before bed. He also mentioned how hot the bedroom was, with the thermostat set to 78 degrees. This, he claimed, was the reason he opted to sleep downstairs that night. However, this friend, who had spent countless nights at Amber's house, found Richard's claim about the thermostat setting unusual. According to her, they would never set the thermostat that high at night. It's worth noting that Amber's sister, Brittany, lived with the couple, although she was not present on the night of Amber's passing. In a police interview, Brittany revealed that Richard would only sleep downstairs when there was a disagreement between him and Amber. Furthermore, she explained that the medication Richard took for his mental health issues had a profound effect on him. It not only made him sleepy, but also reportedly triggered anger. As a result, he would take these pills just before bedtime. Given the effects of the medication, Richard would be knocked out for the night, and so Amber would always be the one to attend to their daughters if they woke up during the night. This made Richard's claim of waking up due to the baby's crying seem highly unlikely, according to Brittany. The couple's friends also painted a picture of imbalance in the household duties. They told the police that Richard's contribution to the housework was so minimal that Amber was essentially caring for 3 children, their 2 daughters and Richard. This imbalance in household duties often led to arguments, adding to the tension in their relationship. Amber's friends, who were interviewed, were not aware of any instances of physical violence between the couple. They only learned about the arguments after they had occurred, when Amber would bring them up in conversations. One friend recalled a particularly intense fight during the initial COVID-19 lockdown, when everyone was confined to their homes. The cause of the argument was unclear, but it might have been related to Richard's lack of assistance with the children. But the fight escalated to the point where Richard picked up a high chair and broke it. Adding to the strain on their relationship was Richard's addiction to pornography, a point of contention that led to numerous arguments. In fact, text exchanges revealed that the couple had a heated argument over this issue just a week before Amber's death. In his interview with police, Richard's father, George Guichelaar, told Detective Dijkgraaf there was a 98% chance his son was guilty of killing Amber. Richard's sister said to the detective that her first thought upon learning Amber was dead was, Richard did it, and that he may have flown into a fit of rage and couldn't gain control. He is an angry person. He has a whole other side to him. For a few years there, we thought it was really good. He was on good medication, and it was almost as if we could breathe a sigh of relief, like maybe we've made it through the worst of it. But he can get so angry. He'll throw things, he'll punch things, just rage. Both Richard's parents told Detective Dijkgraaf they were scared because Richard was staying with them while the police investigated. They said they were trying to be patient and trust the legal system, but they felt their son needed to be in prison. Despite Richard's history of aggressive behavior, it seemed no one had considered the possibility that he might kill his wife. No one, that is, except Amber herself. A day after her tragic death, the police discovered a couple of loose-leaf notebook papers in her minivan. While some of the writing had become unreadable due to spilled liquid, these were Amber's personal notes about Richard. One chilling entry read, "I have literally thought to myself, am I safe asleep next to him? Would he ever kill me?" In these notes, Amber documented the violence she had endured at the hands of her husband, providing a poignant and troubling insight into her fears. On one of the pieces of paper, Amber listed off the following. "He has beaten me, kicked and punched me, threw a mug at the big screen TV, smashed my cell phones, punched glass shower door, broken 4 doors, smashed counter with a hammer, punched a hole in the wall." Amber's notes, serving as a silent testament to the abuse she endured, were evidently a hidden diary, kept secret from those close to her. Astonishingly, she confided in no one about the physical abuse she was experiencing. Even her sister Brittany, who was aware of a physical fight between Amber and Richard several years prior, believed that things had improved since then. Her mom, Amy, who FaceTimed with her daughter multiple times a day during lockdown, said she had no idea her daughter was being physically abused and didn't believe she was in danger. The autopsy conducted by the medical examiner revealed a chilling truth. Amber's death was ruled a homicide caused by strangulation. The examination revealed injuries consistent with an assault that occurred just prior to her death. On the night Amber died, Richard was the only person at home capable of causing such injuries. Furthermore, the statements provided by Richard failed to offer a comprehensive explanation for the circumstances leading to Amber's untimely death. On January 9, 2021, nearly 2 months after Amber's death, her husband, Richard Guichelaar, was arrested for her murder. Subsequently, on January 11th, his bond was set at $2 million. The prosecutors, unable to prove premeditation, charged Richard with second-degree murder and assault on a pregnant individual, causing a miscarriage or stillbirth. On February 21, 2022, after a 1-year delay due to COVID, Richard pleaded guilty to the charges of second-degree murder and assault of a pregnant individual, causing a miscarriage or stillbirth. During the hearing, Amy DeGraff, Amber's mother, delivered an impact statement, advocating for what she and her family deemed an appropriate punishment for Richard.
We will not know how it arrived, what happened. But we do know indeed that in your courtroom, February 21st, Richard Guichelaar has confessed to killing our daughter, Amber, that he did indeed do it intentionally, and he didn't know she was pregnant, and we do consider that baby life. Our family does. So we just ask, with your experience and your wisdom as a judge, please effect the sentence that you're about to give Richard Guichelaar that would commit the crime of killing her daughter, her beloved Amber, and her one child. We please ask that you consider the two young children that have been left behind.
Sir, is there anything you'd like to say to me before I impose sentence, or any comment with regards to your pre-sentence report?
I just search for words these last 16 months on how to express my sorrow, remorse, and regret. I've been unable to. My wife was a wonderful human being, wonderful mother, daughter, granddaughter, and so many other things. I'm ready to accept responsibility for what I did.
There's just no excuse or justification for this brutal and senseless murder. There's none whatsoever. I believe, sir, that you are a danger to society, a danger to the people in this county, in this state. I don't believe you should ever be free, quite frankly.
Richard Guichelaar received a sentence of a minimum of 33 years to a maximum of 100 years in prison. In a poignant moment outside the courtroom, Amber's mother, Amy, met with Richard's father, George. Despite the grim situation, Amy extended compassion, embracing Richard and acknowledging the difficult journey he was about to face.
I'm sorry, George, that I don't know why that happened. It's senseless. Yeah.
We're all just broken by this. We're just broken by this.
Amber's two daughters are currently under the loving care of Brittany, Amber's sister, who has stepped in to care for the girls and is committed to their well-being and future. While the girls are in good hands, the road ahead is filled with expenses. A GoFundMe account has been set up to support Amber's daughters. If you wish to contribute and assist in providing for their future, you can find the link to the GoFundMe in the description. Amber's life, deeply rooted in her faith, was a testament to her unwavering devotion to Jesus Christ, her daughters, and her students. Her infectious laughter and incredible sense of humor became a beacon of joy, capable of transforming the darkest moments into something lighthearted and happy. Amber's ability to transform adversity into happiness was a gift that she generously shared, spreading joy to everyone around her. Amber's love was a force that touched everyone she encountered, radiating through her family, friends, and students. She cherished every moment with her daughters, ensuring they knew the depth of her love. Her daughters were her world, and through them, her legacy of faith, love, and compassion will continue to live on. In the wake of this heartbreaking loss, our thoughts and condolences extend to Amber's family, especially her mother Amy, her sister Brittany, her two daughters, and all her loved ones. May our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ comfort and strengthen you all, and may Amber's soul rest in eternal peace.